Browns 0-8 at home. Just sad.
I haven't heard you this down since Dr. Brown got fired. It's a game that we were in, and it's a game that we just don't finish.
I don't want to watch anymore.
Why? Why does that happen? I'm so sick of watching those plays.
0-16.
I definitely do not want to watch it all 22.
That's up and down to me. That looks like dysfunction. Welcome back, Survivors, episode 40, season 3. This is Surviving the Season. I am your host, Adam. Greg's here.
Yo!
Episode 153 overall. How about that? We passed 150.
How about it?
Didn't even notice. Bengals.
Keep banging them out.
Pre-game today.
Easy win.
Easy win.
152nd time I've said that. How many have we done?
Yeah. 154. This is 153.
154th time I said easy win. All right. What's their line this week? What does Vegas, what do they see? They seem to know some stuff every once in a while.
Well, take a guess. What do you think?
I would say the Bengals are playing like poop, and the Browns had a good game. Therefore, we're through the roof on what the Browns could do. They're going to call it a pick'em, but it's in Cincinnati, so I'm going to say 3-point game.
You nailed it. Bengals -3, 5-5, 3-2 at home. Browns are 3-6-1, haven't won on the road yet.
There's like some ridiculous number we haven't won on the road in like 3 years.
Since we started the podcast, yes.
We've never. This could be the first road victory in Surviving the Season history.
I like our chances this week. A.J. Green appears to be in trouble.
Yeah, not having A.J. Green in there is absolutely a plus. But they have other players who, just one really wide receiver that's been getting it done, Tyler Boyd. So they still have some other guys. Andy Dalton, not the worst quarterback in the world, not the best. Like, what is just good enough to be a starter? Not good enough to win anything. Not bad enough to lose your job to some other guy. Like, what is that spot? Like, where he is purgatory. He's quarterback purgatory, maybe.
Yeah. He's sort of an 8-8 quarterback.
Like, what do you do if you're the Bengals, right? And you got Andy Dalton. Like, do you ride this thing out? He's 31 years old. He's been in this his 8th season. Are you going, hey, if we just get the pieces around Andy Dalton, we can win a Super Bowl? Or in the back of your head, are you going, it doesn't matter what, we could have a Super Bowl cast around this guy, we're not going to win it because we have Andy Dalton?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they haven't really done anything. They haven't won any playoff games with him, right?
No, and they're constantly 9-7 and 6-10, and then hey, we go 8-8, and somehow what's his name keeps keeping his job there, getting Hugh hired back on. They're just never doing.
They never lose
enough to win any meaningful games. What's that?
They never lose enough to get a top pick, but they never win enough to win playoff games. Yeah.
So even the position that they're in, it's like they can't even take a shot at the top quarterback because they'll never get that opportunity. So it's almost like they're sort of stuck in this NFL quarterback purgatory that we're so glad the Browns are no longer in. Not that we would have taken Andy Dalton for many years. So.
Yeah, would have been better than what we had. On the injury side for Cleveland, everybody's back. Everybody's practicing.
I like it.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's a relatively healthy team. Who else are they missing? You said A.J. Green. What's going on over there with them? Is it Cordy Glenn's going to play? That's their tackle.
Yeah, he was limited today. Denard, the corner, he did not practice yesterday.
Darquez Denard, he was a first-round draft pick. They got a number of corners. Really, they're not that bad. Defensively, they should be better than what they are. They're actually, when you look at the numbers, DVOA. Let me see. Pull it up here. 29. I'm sorry. That's our offense. They are 27th in the league. That's Football Outsiders. 18 against the pass and 30 against the rush. So teams have been able to run it on them, and they've had a number of those games where they've just been in, shootout mode. Offensively, they're right there. They are the Andy Daltons of the football league. They are 16th out of 32, right dead in the middle.
Yep.
18th in the pass game and 16th running the ball. compared to us, we're 29th right now. I think we may have moved up a spot from last week, 29 pass, 21st in the rush. We've been running the ball better, with Nick Chubb in there. Looks like the Cincinnati defense will give us the opportunity to maybe get a little bit more Nick Chubb this week.
Yeah, they have a minus 56 point differential. Browns are actually better at minus 45.
Yeah. So you're saying there's a chance.
That point differential extrapolates real well over like the good teams have a really high differential, and it extrapolates to like how well your season's going.
I went in, I was like, what are they bad at? Like, what do they do defensively that we can take advantage of? And, week 1, they gave up 11 catches for 111 yards and a touchdown to Eric Ebron and Jack Doyle. I was like, okay, maybe we could bat against the tight ends, and then they could play the Panthers, and all of a sudden McCaffrey runs for 184 yards. And okay, well, maybe you can run on them. And then the next game, Falcons, Julio Jones catches 173 yards on 9 catches. Okay, so they're bad at every single it's like, where's your stars at? They play the Steelers. Connor runs for 111. Juju gets 111. Brown gets 105. It's just, if you have a star player, you basically can just take advantage of them. So then I go, let's look at the Browns roster. See, where's our star players at? So it's Nick Chubb, Duke Johnson type game, I would say. That's what I'm thinking. Because you look all the way down the list. I mean, I just broke it all down. Who's the best player against Mike Evans? 179 yards and 6 receptions. Now, this last game, they just lost to the Ravens. They kind of blew that one. I went back and watched it. They had an opportunity to get it done, and they Hugh Jacksoned it. They just could not get the ball moving on the final possession. Lamar Jackson was quarterbacking for Baltimore, and he just kind of ran it right down their throats. 26 carries, 119 yards. And Gus Edwards, who I never even heard of before this game, 17 carries, 115 yards and a touchdown. They just pounded it right down their throats. So maybe there's an opportunity for that kind of play. But watching the Ravens, like Lamar Jackson looked terrible throwing the ball. We're not going to have that problem with Baker, obviously.
Yeah. And the good news is now that Hugh's over there, if it is a Duke Johnson, Nick Chubb type game, Hugh doesn't know they exist on the Browns roster, so we can use that to our advantage.
They're like, what should we stop, Hugh? And he's like, oh, man, I don't even know. Antonio Callaway, maybe? I don't even know, because he's working with the defense now.
Right.
Like, what's these calls? I've no idea. I wasn't working with the offense.
Yeah.
Not my offense. Yeah, so they have one guy that just wrecks us every single time. Geno Atkins. He kills us. I mean, I don't remember the last time we played the Bengals where Geno Atkins hasn't had at least a sack or made some kind of huge play. This year, he's just killing it. Pro Football Focus, 86.9 overall rank, overall grade. 46 pressures, 6 sacks, 8 hits, 32 hurries on 321 pass rush. So that's like elite pass rush ability. The nice thing about our line is what we talked about. This is a defensive tackle. He's going to have to go up against the best part of our line.
Right.
That interior. So the guys on the outside that are getting it done. Carl Lawson, who's more of just a pass rush guy. He's doing another really good job this year. 25 pressures on just 184 pass rush snaps. Sam Hubbard, I got to give you a Sam Hubbard update because he's an Ohio State guy. He's got 3 sacks on the year, so he's doing some nice things for him. Carlos Dunlap, who's been there forever, 32 pressures, and those are the outside guys. So if the Bengals can win somewhere defensively, those are going to be the guys that can do it. And I'm a little worried about it. I mean, these are not like top elite, the top tier guys, but they're all guys who just have a knack of getting to the quarterback.
What's their secondary look like compared to what we can throw at them?
It's good, but it wasn't as good. Dre Kirkpatrick, did you say he's hurt?
Yeah, but I think he practiced limited yesterday.
Okay, so he's back there. William Jackson, who was having like a breakout season last year, has kind of fell off, hasn't been as good, but still halfway decent. Jesse Bates, do you remember him this is a guy that Pete Smith loved?
Mm-hmm.
You remember, he's having a standout, phenomenal season, 61 tackles. He's doing a good job in the pass game, only giving up 9 receptions on 16 targets for 86 yards. So that's really getting it done there. His grade, he's the 4th highest graded defensive player on the Bengals. So he's playing safety. So they have some pieces back there. Really, I just don't understand why they're so terrible on defense. They just don't seem to be. I don't know. Their linebackers. I mean, Vontaze Burfict hasn't been as good. He's only played 4 games this year. Isn't Nick Vigil hurt?
Yeah.
I think the linebacker crew is not really looking at them. Preston Brown. I mean, they're not very good. Jordan Evans, Hardy Nickerson. Their grades are terrible. These are like Christian Kirksey type grades here. So that could be part of it. They're just not getting it done there. But like I said, it seems like if you have a star player, so you know what they always say with the Patriots, they take your star player away. We do whatever we got to do. If we got to double team the star player, we will, and then we'll put our best cover guy on the second best player. Well, if you go through these stats, it's like the best player on their opponent every single week is just absolutely annihilating them.
Yeah, that makes for that's why you're 5-5 with a huge point differential.
Exactly. So I think that we should be able to see. Hopefully, Freddie Kitchens has another nice little game plan, quick throws. Like I said, I worry about those edge guys, but if you can get the ball out of Baker's hands quickly into the playmakers' hands, it seems like there's going to be plenty of room for these guys to make some plays. So I think our offense actually has an advantage this week for once.
Nice. For once.
Yes. Well, it's been few and far between, hasn't it?
Yeah. Or maybe we can get
on the defensive side. So for them on offense, of course, they have Andy Dalton. He's playing Andy Dalton is like the model of consistency. It's just like, the model. He's the model of mediocrity. It's just every single season looks exactly the same, all the way up and down. Like he's Alex Smith-like, in that right now he's got 20 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, 7.1 yards per attempt, which is his exact average for his career. 2,466 yards, 90 QB rating, just right there in the middle. Exactly where Andy Dalton, belongs. Tyler Boyd's having the best season of all the wide receivers. AJ Green dealing with a little bit of injury, and he's a slot guy. He's second-round pick, outproducing our slot guy, to be honest. He's got 57 catches on the year for 756 yards, 5 touchdowns, 73.7 catch percentage. So that's 56 catches on just 76 targets. What's our guy at? 50. What's he got? 50-some on 104. So that's like 30 more targets. Not good. Yeah, absolutely getting it done. That's like 13 yards per reception as well. AJ Green, we don't know if he'll be there, but if he is, 45 catches, 687 yards, 6 touchdowns, always getting it done. John Ross got a little bit of playing time. Do you remember John Ross, the little short, fast guy from Washington? Yeah.
Who can forget him?
He's been terrible so far in his NFL career. He's got 11 receptions on 28 targets this year. That's a 39.3% catch rate. 145 yards. The only nice thing is he somehow has 4 touchdowns on those 11 receptions. So I guess if you're going by touchdown efficiency, he is near the top of the league. Catch efficiency, terrible. And then, as always, we know Joe Mixon back there. He played with Baker Mayfield. He can do it all. He's that guy that can catch the ball out of the backfield. He runs it. He averages 4.6 yards a carry. He gets 24 receptions on the year, 177 yards and a touchdown. He splits a little bit of time up with Gio Bernard, who is basically more of a receiving guy, third down guy. Only 38 carries on the year, so we won't see him running the ball that much. But 20 catches for 128 yards. We'll see that. And then when you go look at the line, so that's the playmakers. If you look at the line, this is the part that we should really dominate on. They've been struggling. Like the Bengals line has been a real problem. And they went and they give? Second round pick for Cordy Glenn this year. No, you know what it was? They swapped draft positions, right, with the Bills to get Cordy Glenn, and maybe a pick on top of that. I think that's what it was. But he's the left tackle. His pressure rate. He's giving up pressure every 13.4 snaps. So if you recall in the last show, if maybe some of you didn't get the chance to listen to the last show because it's like 5 hours long, when I was talking about our tackles, Desmond Harrison's giving up 12 pressure every 12 snaps. Greg Robinson's giving a pressure every 12.5 snaps. That's really bad. And then you get to the good guys like Joe Bitonio. It's every 57 snaps he's giving up a pressure. Well, Cordy Glenn is a guy who's reasonably well thought of in the league, but he's giving up a pressure right now every 13.4 snaps. So he's going to be a guy that is going up against Myles Garrett. I think that's a good matchup for Myles, obviously.
And he's banged up too. So that even that, like, he's not full health, right?
Yeah, he's banged up, but you said he's limited today.
He practiced, but
he did practice, so I would expect him to be playing. He's banged up, and he's got to go up against Myles, a rejuvenated Myles Garrett, baby.
Yeah, coming off.
He's ready for 100% snap count this week. Yeah, he's one tackle. Bobby Hart's the other tackle. He's giving up a pressure every 16.6 snaps, so that's not getting it done much better. Alex Redmond, who's playing guard right now, is giving up a pressure every 11.8 snaps. I mean, these are guys that you can take advantage of. I don't know who's playing center right now. Did Billy Price get hurt for the year?
I don't know.
Okay. Well, it's between him and Trey Hopkins. I don't even know who it is right now. I should have. I just looked at it right before I hopped on here. And I didn't particularly watch when I watched the game. The guy who's playing well is Clint Bowling. He's the left guard, 75.2 pass blocking grade. So he's the one guy that's actually getting it done. But everybody else on that offensive line is somebody that our defensive line can take advantage of. So I expect Myles and Larry Ogunjobi and Jernard Avery to be getting, absolutely getting in Andy Dalton's way and causing some confusion, hopefully getting some turnovers.
Yeah, maybe we can get back on the turnover train.
Why did we not have one last week? No, we had two, right?
Yeah.
Didn't we?
Let's keep it rolling.
Seems like years ago, that last game.
I know.
But that's basically it. That's a little summary of the offense defense. I see why Vegas, even though we only have 3 wins, is saying, hey, this is a pick'em game, even with they're saying a 3-point game with the Browns going into Cincinnati, where we haven't won a road game in forever. Because when you just look at it, especially with AJ Green being out, it just seems to me like we have the advantage here. Mm-hmm. We have the better team right now. When's the last time we said that? Like, hands down, better team than the Bengals.
Yeah, and we get a Bengals loss, we'd be half game back. If we can get the Steelers to lose a couple games here down the stretch.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to catch the Steelers. I think our only hope is a wild card at this point. And if you look, whoever that bottom wild card team is going to be, it's going to be a pretty shitty team. There's hope for us. We could be that shitty team.
Yeah, I can't find the
playoff hunt board.
Yeah.
How do you not have a board in your
I've never had to do that yet for the Browns.
that would be a playoff board. That would be a new thing for this podcast. Might have to set one up.
Yeah, there's a bunch of teams that are 5-5 that are catchable.
Yeah, and it's going to come down to that one tie.
Yeah.
That's either going to kill us or save our asses. What is it going to be? You just think, you look back at a couple of these games that just got away from us, man. And not that we're going deep in the playoffs, but could you imagine what that does for the psyche of the team? It's like, oh, we are competing. We are able to play with anybody in this league. I think that's important with these guys right now.
Yeah.
I'm ready for that, man.
Yeah, me too. I mean, there's winnable games. You got the Bengals twice.
Yep. Not that good.
The Texans, they're first in their division, but
what's their record right now? Do you have that? Are they in the playoff hunt still?
Yeah, they're leading. They're 7-3, dude.
Oh, they are?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that. Okay. Terrible division.
Sort of a weird, yeah. I can't explain the Texans right now.
You know what? Texans going into the year, the number one easiest schedule when you know how.
Yeah.
Probably not by like record. I know they always show that. Oh, this team has the easiest record by schedule. That's a old way of doing it. Like Warren Sharp goes in, breaks it down by through like offensive efficiency, defensive efficiency, all that kind of stuff. Breaks it down analytically, and what he came back with, Houston had the number one easiest schedule by every single metric that he had by far. So he was saying, hey, Houston's probably going to have a really good season, even though they might not necessarily be that good of a team.
Yeah. They started 0-3, and they've ripped off 7 in a row.
Yeah. Well,
go figure that.
So how about it?
And 4 of those are on the road. But yeah, you're right. They're a bunch of garbage teams. Or teams that are playing poorly.
When you look at, what's interesting, I was looking at this. So the Bengals, one of the things about the Bengals of them like defensively playing so badly is they have had like one of the hardest, I think, Football Outsiders has them as the hardest schedule for who the defense had to face. The Browns are second.
Yeah.
Like the offenses that we faced, the Chiefs, Pittsburgh twice, New Orleans, Tampa Bay, those are good offenses.
Yeah, that's who the Bengals have lost to. They're 1-4 in the last 5, and they lost to the Steelers, Chiefs, Saints, Ravens, and they beat the Buccaneers by 3.
Yeah. So they have 4 losses there. It's not like they're losing to just bums, and they barely lost to the Ravens last week. So they're coming. I think that's why everybody's so down on the Bengals right now. But I think they're probably a little bit better than what everybody's thinking at this moment.
Yeah, tough schedule.
But the Browns are in this game for sure.
Yeah, looking forward to it. 1 p.m. Sunday. You want to do picks? Or we got anything else on the game?
Nope. Do you have anything else?
Negative. High scoring game, low scoring game. I think over-under's like 47, 48.
Wonder what the weather's going to be like.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I will say the Browns win this one 35-28. Pretty easy win. We give them a, hey, why not, touchdown at the end. Try to catch up because we feel bad for Hugh.
Yeah, Hugh revenge game here.
Yeah, and then Hugh blames Coach Lewis for the loss. He said Marvin Lewis. He throws Marvin Lewis under the bus, and then Mike Brown fires Marvin Lewis and installs Hugh Jackson as head coach of the Bengals after this one.
Mm-hmm. And then Mike Silver cleans it all up on Twitter, saying that it's the
cleans it up
greatest move ever. His PR guy.
Oh, did you see the Baker?
I did.
Oh, yeah. What's your prediction first? Go ahead.
I'm going to say also high-scoring game, 39-36. Browns win.
Beautiful. never picked them to lose. Ever. 37-1. We've never picked them to lose. Yeah, so Baker had in his press conference this week, did you see that stuff with the Hugh Jackson? This is great. They asked him, what did he say? What did you learn from Hugh? Right? That was one of the questions. What did you learn from Hugh? And he's like, well, he gets, what did he put in or something? Yeah, he got involved. He was friendly with everyone. He was a nice guy.
He's a guy that wanted to be friends with everybody. So, very good guy.
He said, is there going to be any advantage to Hugh, that Hugh can give to the Bengals? And he's like, no. Nothing at all? No, absolutely not.
Just
There is zero love lost, obviously, between Baker and Hugh. It was interesting to listen. Like he's just like, no, what is Hugh going to add to them? He doesn't even know anything about our team. He just sat in his office. What was his job here? Nobody nobody knows what he did.
Yeah, that was kind of funny. Hugh Jackson. Dun, dun, dun. There was a move. Terrence Mitchell designated to return from injured reserve. He will practice 2 weeks, and he's eligible to return for the Panthers game for the last 4 games.
So that's our one guy we get back?
I think you can do 2 now, but I think you can do 2. I think they changed that.
The one wrong thing that Jack Duffin brought up to me, we messed up in our roster show. You got to get fixed on your roster. Is Higgins is a free agent this year,
restricted
because he was cut last year.
Yeah,
we were saying he's a free agent next year, but if you remember, he was cut, had to be re-signed to a different contract. Free agent this year. So,
but
Higgins
but
is
he's
free agent.
He's restricted.
Oh, he's restricted this year
because he'll have only 3 years service. So you'll have to go through the tender process with him.
Okay, so what are we doing with Higgins? He's probably the lowest tender. He's not a second round tender, right?
Nah.
Second round tender being $5 million for 1 year, roughly ish.
No, that's probably
maybe
high.
3.
Yeah.
Maybe 3.5 or something, 3 million.
You can do it's $4.5 million for the first round tender, 3.1 for the second, and 2 million for the original round.
Okay. So, I mean, if you really want to have him back, which I don't see, I would maybe, you're not going to get a second round for him, and you want to have him back, you could, what's the difference between 3 million and 2 million for you with all the money we have stacked up right now?
Yeah, true.
You know, swimming in that cap money like Scrooge McDuck and his gold coins.
Yeah, I imagine they'll give him the original round tender, and then he'll see if he can get a better deal. The Browns could match that deal or let him walk. And then Higgins was a 4th round pick?
No, he was 6th, 5th, 6th. Oh, man,
Lewis and Higgins came in the same round, right?
No. It was Lewis was in the 4th, and then Higgins was a round later. Peyton, remember the Peyton kid? He might have even been in there.
He was 6. Okay, Higgins was round 5.
Okay.
So you would get a 5th round pick if somebody signed him away from you.
Okay.
Goes to his original round.
It's probably fair.
Yeah. Nothing there to worry about right now, but we'll be talking about it at the end of the year, trying to figure out what to do with him.
Yep. That was just a correction.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else?
Nope. That's it. We can get out of here.
We'll see you after the game. You can hit us up on Twitter at STS Podcast, and our email is
survivingtheseason@gmail.com. Thank you all for listening and sharing the show. Patreon.com/STS Podcast if you want to support the show. Shout out to all our producers over there. Thank you guys so much. We appreciate that. #Road to Redemption. Greg, tell them what we say.
Keep on surviving.